Hey guys, Levi for the Rag Company, and welcome to a new episode of DETALKS. And with me, back in the studio again, Mr. Mark Perch, owner of Car Care Co. in Australia, and also Rag Company and PNS and IK and all the brands, distributors for Australia and New Zealand. Mark, what's going on, man?
How's it going, Levi? It's good to be here.
Yeah.
You've been hospitable as you normally are for the past day or so.
Thanks. I appreciate that. We try. So, Mark, it's been, 3 years since you were last back here in studio. Obviously, things have changed for the Rag Company, but also for you. So let's catch people up. What have you been up to? What's been going on?
Right, so I was here last in 2019.
Yeah.
Did a tour of my then two suppliers, and I should say our two suppliers.
Yeah.
And went to SEMA, which was a great trip. And then not that long after I came, as we all know, COVID hit.
Yep.
And COVID actually for us was actually a really good time for our business.
Oh, good.
Actually helped establish our business because everyone went online.
Yeah.
In Australia, we had the toughest, especially in Melbourne, we had the toughest restrictions in the world. Shops were closed for a long time. People were not working. They were stuck at home. So what do you do when you're at home?
Order stuff online.
Order stuff
Surf the
online.
internet.
Wash your car.
Yeah.
Look after your car. It's something to do. So in that time, we increased our dealership. And so to go back a step, our business is structured on our dealers. So we have a network of dealers in Australia, which are basically our salespeople. Mm-hmm. And they do a great job, great bunch of guys. And they're all online.
Okay.
So the fact that COVID hit us, there was no retail stores open, really helped build the dealer structure of our business.
Right.
And we picked up another couple of dealerships or distributorships in Australia. So besides the Rag Company and PNS, who were our suppliers in 2019,
right.
We now have, as we discussed, IK, but we also supply Ethos car care products with the graphene coatings and associated products, plus with the distribution in Australia for McKee's 37.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So they're our main brands now, and they keep us busy, and those brands are all growing. However, not like the Rag Company and PNS.
Well, I think that was but it's nice to know that the same thing that was happening to us, this online explosion of people buying products, was happening as well for you in your neck of the woods. But I think that was the neat thing, was finding people who, after being stuck at home for so long, started doing this almost a renaissance of wanting to wash their own car or wanting to learn how to wash their own car. I thought that was probably the coolest thing that kind of came out of it.
Yeah, well, it was. And it's actually a bit different in Australia too. So you kind of need to have a bit of an understanding of the Australian market. So in Australia, there's two sides to the car care products market. There's the retail, and then there's the online, let's call it the online premium market.
Okay.
So we have a lot of retail chains in Australia, stores like Repco, Super Cheap Auto, which a lot of the guys in the US have a kick out of how you can call your company Super Cheap Auto, because
Yeah.
they're a very big company in Australia. And you have a lot of the established retail brands, such as your Maguire's and Mother's and Armour All, and the type of brands that the mums and dads and the lower-end enthusiasts know, because the advertising has been around for 20, 30, 40 years. Yeah. They see on TV, hear on radio, lots of advertisements. So they're the brands that they know. That's probably 70 to 80% of the Australian car care product market.
Okay.
The other 20 to 30% is where more of the premium products are sold, and that's traditionally online. So most of the professional industry are probably not buying the retail products. And that's generalising. Yeah. And obviously a lot is still bought from the retail outlets, but a lot of them are going to the more premium brands online. So what happened during COVID is a lot of these customers were only, the mums and dads, as we like to call them, they were only buying in the retail stores. Right. All of a sudden had to go online.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they realised there's more products out there than what they originally knew of.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so that's what helped grow that market. Yeah. And it's continued, maybe not to the levels during peak COVID, but definitely sales on that 20 to 30% online premium side have definitely increased.
Nice.
Since COVID finished.
And then you also distribute car wash supplies and equipment, correct?
Okay,
That's one of the other businesses that
correct.
that you also run?
That's what we'd call our core business.
Okay.
So we have a company called All Care Vehicle Wash Solutions, which we established back in 2010. Car Care Co. we established in 2018. But all our trade business is still driven through All Care.
Yeah.
So if you come to us as a detailer and you want to get trade pricing, you would actually then go into the All Care system.
Okay.
Even though they're products that are originally supplied through Car Care Co. And Car Care Co., I know this is a bit confusing, but Car Care Co. will supply the products to All Care.
Yeah. Yeah,
From a
it
trade
makes sense.
perspective. So,
but this way it allows to keep a delineation, a line between the two, so that way you have it as two separate companies, but they do help and support and feed each other.
Correct. Different to the RAG company model. So the RAG company has the one business, and you have your dealer programs and your
business
wholesale
program,
business programs,
distributors,
all that type of stuff. But we already had a trade business.
Yeah, right.
So when we established Car Care Co, we already had a trade business. So
Correct.
to us, it just made sense, and the different businesses, it just made sense to run the trade side of the business through an existing trade company.
Yeah.
Because we're already known in the car washing / hand car washing industries.
Right, yeah. And that's the same thing. Those guys, you've got different distributors and dealers that are on vehicles as well, right? They drive trucks, they go work on car washes, they repair, they fix, they
So if we talk about the car care product side, we supply now quite a lot of car care product to our existing car wash, truck wash customers in Australia.
Nice. Yeah.
100%.
Well, and that's what I think is the coolest thing about your business is that you have those both sides, and there's that almost a marriage within that industry, which is something that the U.S. and other parts of the world kind of have I know in the UK, there's the valeters that are there to wash cars, right? They're there to just do a quick wash and vac. And then there's the detailers who do a little more precise, where here in the US, we kind of look at it as whether you're a detailer, whether you're just washing cars with out of the back of a pickup, or you're actually physically detailing a car, you're still technically a detailer. It just depends on the amount of services you want to do. And if you have an actual standalone car wash, that is it almost feels separate. The car washers want to try and get into more detailing, but there's always that ego between the detailers that go, you could take it down the street, but they're going to mess your car up. They're going to screw it up. And I've always tried to push that detailers are never going to be able to compete against a car wash. You're never going to compete against the speed, the efficiency, and the way it gets a car clean. However, they're always going to be, when you've got that much efficiency, that many cars, that much stuff going on, there is always going to be that level of damage. The key is trying to figure out how as a detailer to manage that for themselves. But I always love seeing when there's that merging between the two that a company can actually do some stuff with. And that's what I love seeing, because I think you're able, because of your experience in the car wash industry, selling detail products, you have that on both sides, because you can help explain that to your distributors, your dealers, those folks that are actually working out in the field for you as well, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, correct. Look, there still is a distinct delineation in those markets in Australia. Okay, so most car washers will not have anything to do with detailing. However, it's also a matter of growing your business.
Yeah.
So if you've got a car wash and you look at your car wash and you say, you know what, now margins are getting smaller because costs are rising.
Right.
Prices aren't always increasing at the car wash. We need to grow our business. What can we do? So there are a number of car washers now that are looking at how can we upsell.
Right.
So they might, for example, all of a sudden put someone out the front of the wash, and they might have an option of an upsell of applying bead maker.
Right.
Or a product like a McKee's Hydro Blue, which is a wash-on, rinse-off sealant.
Yeah.
Right? So for an extra $5, $10, I may not be accurate there, but whatever the price is, they can actually increase the revenue from a particular wash.
Yeah.
Other car washes might have a shed on the side or might have a spare bay. They're now looking at putting a lower-end detailing service in.
Right.
Then you get some of the larger car washers, and there's a couple of smaller chains that have a complete service where they might have, besides a self-serve and automatic, they've also got a tunnel which they use as a valeting tunnel.
Yeah.
So they will have a more advanced detailing service after the valeting tunnel.
Yeah.
So the car wash industry in Australia is still evolving. not quite at the US level yet. We don't have the same number of tunnels.
Yeah.
But it's evolving to include not only different aspects of the car washing industry, but the lower end aspects of, not lower end in quality, but just lower end aspects of the detailing industry as well.
Right. Exactly. So how much have you grown in the business since 2019, last time you were here? What all have you guys changed with Car Care Co?
Well, look, we have grown a lot. In 2019, we were basically 1 year old.
Yeah.
And we were just really establishing our brands in the marketplace. So rather than talking about our business, and we've grown a lot, new brands, new dealers, and from just purely from a revenue perspective, we've increased 3-4 times.
Yeah.
So that's all been going well, but more from a brand perspective. So
bringing on the more different brands.
No, but the existing brands. So, for example, when we started up in 2018, and even by 2019, people didn't really know who P&S were, as an example.
Correct, yes.
They knew about Beadmaker.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of hype about Beadmaker and there was a lot of social media. So they might have known about Beadmaker, but they did not know about P&S. Whereas now P&S is a very well-known brand in Australia on that, again, that online enthusiast and professional side of the marketplace.
Yeah.
And that's been the main change for us. The rag company was known in Australia. Even when we met in 2018, I've told the story when I was here last time, but as I walked past your stand at the
car wash
show, I saw the microfiber towels, and I didn't know the rag company, but I looked up the logo and I'd seen the rag company, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, but even now, the rag company is a much bigger name on the Australian marketplace, in the marketplace, and that's not from our good work, by the way. That's from our dealers' great work.
Yeah.
In getting we get the word out there, but our dealers have just done a great job.
They've been doing a great job at it.
Great job in getting the brands out there. And you talk about brands like Ethos and McKee's 37. These brands have been introduced to Australia, and they're getting better and better known all the time. And that's where our growth has been.
I think that's the coolest thing about it is a lot of people seem to think that we here control the amount output of our voice or our videos or things. That still has to be shared. We can promote and produce everything we can, and it can just go out, but it has to be shared. It has to be shown to somebody. It has to go from a friend to a friend to a friend. It still has that word of mouth referral almost. Yeah. I think it's a big thing, and it's cool to see it, especially from Boise, Idaho.
Correct. Well, it's fantastic. But the most important thing is surrounding yourself with the right people. Mm-hmm. So, we've been lucky, and you can say it's good management, we've been lucky to find some really great people who actually deal with it as our dealer network. And as I've explained a number of times, we could go we could have built a sales team.
Right.
But the sales team don't have the experience, don't have the knowledge necessarily. They don't have the same enthusiasm as the dealers are doing running their own businesses.
Right.
So without their support, the rag company wouldn't be where they are today in Australia. The brand wouldn't be what it is. If we were doing it ourselves, the brands wouldn't be what they are today.
Right.
But you mix with good people and you build a good team like you guys have here at the rag company. And I'm lucky, the viewers haven't seen behind the scenes, but I see behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And the team you've established here is just a phenomenal team of people from the guys that are packing. In the packing room to management, to the guys in the media centre. And it's the same with us. I've been lucky enough to surround myself with some really great dealers as our sales team.
Yeah.
And the business has grown.
That's awesome. Well, kudos. Where do you guys see yourself going in the future? What are some of the ways you want to, you don't have to give away your secrets, but what are some of the things that you would like to do in growing Car Care Co. and All Care?
I think that the growth is going to come from slowly introducing newer brands, newer technology. We're as we've discussed before, we're about to introduce the Diamond ProTech line into Australia, which the rag company have been promoting heavily for the past month or so, and you've done all your tests and you're getting great results. So that's going to be a really important brand for us. Mm-hmm. So the growth for us is going to be in our brands and in possibly finding some more good dealers and distributors in areas possibly we don't have at the moment. So just an example, if anyone in Western Australia is listening, it's the one state we don't have a distributor.
Okay.
In mainland Australia.
Yeah.
So that's important for us to grow in the future, is to hopefully find a good dealer in Western Australia. Maybe another dealer or two in New Zealand. We've got one dealer in New Zealand at the moment, but that's a big
Yeah.
It's big enough to have 2 or 3. So there is definitely room for growth going forward. We will try and expand our own website because at the moment our website is a very, very small part of our business.
Yeah.
But I'm a firm believer in the more exposure the brands have, the more the brands grow. So the fact that with the rag company, all of our dealers stock the rag company.
Right.
So the brand continues to grow. With a couple of the other brands, say with the McKees 37, not all of our dealers have McKees 37 in the range at the moment. But as more and more get those brands in, more exposure, the brand will just grow generically.
Correct.
So there's a lot of areas we still have for growth, but it'll be primarily through some newer great brands, is what I meant to say, and to maybe introduce some strategic new dealers, partners with us to help the business grow going forward. So,
well, there we go. Well, Mark, if people want to check you out, where do they go? Well,
they can go to carcareco.com.au. If you forget the wwws, carcareco.com.au. Go to the homepage, come to us, check out our site, go to the homepage. All the dealers are listed at the bottom of the homepage. So you can find a dealer in your state if you prefer to deal with someone locally. Go online, check out our products, check out the ranges, check out our dealers. And,
Instagram as well?
Built after. Instagram is AU Car Care Co. And we post pretty regularly on Instagram. So you can go AU Car Care Co. Obviously, Facebook is the same. Don't have a YouTube channel yet. It's
all right.
YouTube's in the pipeline.
Yep.
But which is probably another area for growth, by the way. We're going to look at improving our media in the next year or two. But probably the Instagram's the best place to go.
And then in Australia, what car shows do you attend or events do you attend?
Yeah, at the moment we attend Summer Nats. We're there every year at Summer Nats, which is an interesting time up in Canberra. We haven't done a lot more at the moment. There's a couple of other major events that we actually physically.
Summer Nats is one of the the biggest
street car. It's one of the biggest street car shows in Australia. There are a lot of one-day events that we have plans to go to, which we haven't really participated in yet. Again, we had plans. COVID hit, so put a stop to everything. There's a couple of major shows that we physically can't get into, because they're sponsored and the sponsors won't let opposition suppliers in there. So. The main one at the moment is Summer Nats, but we're looking at trying to get into a few more in the next year or two.
There we go. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you coming in, hanging out, spending some time with us, and spending the last few days.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, brother.
Look forward to the next day or so, and I look forward to seeing you in SEMA.
And we'll be going to SEMA, so if you're at SEMA this year, obviously you'll be able to see Mark there in person. So, all right, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time on the next DETALKS.